Hello and welcome back to another, very special edition of Hormonal Werewolf. One of our many little mini shows we currently have going on.
So today we're covering episode 3, right? I hope.
Episode 3, which was titled "Boy Who Cried Wolf."
The Boy Who Cried Werewolf.
Was it werewolf or was it wolf?
Yes, it's the Boy Who Cried Werewolf.
Okay, I believe you.
Werewolf, that's the name of the show.
You haven't lied to me yet.
I haven't lied to you yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
I looked,
but
it's fact.
Okay.
July 25th, 1987.
I don't know, guys. I had a bad day, and I didn't even have the energy. You know, sometimes, usually, even on days I don't have energy. Once I start talking to you guys, my second wind kicks in. But I was just feeling kind of. This episode perked me right up. I really enjoyed this one. Man, right out the gate, you didn't have to wait very long for a freaking werewolf, huh?
No, man.
And it's got that really cool, what I like to call pumpkin head light in the
where everything comes from. Yeah.
Behind,
through the trees and from behind and everything. And it's just that really awesome silhouette of the werewolf. He's a little bit too brightly lit in this scene. You could see some of the hookiness.
Yeah. His mouth doesn't move, which makes him look like a Halloween costume, but he still looks so goddamn cool.
There are definite limitations to that too. Like we discussed it before, but I still think it's great. For a television show in the '80s, I still think that werewolf kicks ass. It looks so cool.
I will say there are movies that have actual budgets that do not have a werewolf as good looking as the one in the show.
Seriously.
Yeah,
that's fact.
What do you mean attractive?
Danny Cooksey from Different Strokes and Terminator 2, I believe. Isn't he in Terminator 2?
Who's that, the boy?
Yeah. He was on Different Strokes, and I believe he was in Terminator 2. He played Eddie Furlong's best friend.
I would not have made that connection.
Okay. Do you know this guy? I don't know.
Yeah, he played Tim.
Wow.
But he was Sam on Different Strokes, and left him. Not really sure who he was, but I think Arnold got too old and they brought on another cute kid, you know.
Is that what, he replaced Arnold?
Well, I mean, Arnold was still there, but when, they do that on shows when...
They'll bring in the cousin or the...
Like when Rudy on the Cosby Show got too old and wasn't as cute, they brought in Olivia. It's just like...
Oh, right.
Recycled to a smaller, cuter child, and Danny Cooksey was it for a while. But yeah, he plays Davey. And Davey is sort of scared of his mom's boyfriend. We have a total, typical two-dimensional douchebag as the boyfriend in this.
This guy was
no. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Adam.
I'm sure we were going to say the same thing.
He was checking off a lot of the boxes.
Yeah. I mean, he had no redeemable qualities. And
not even a single one.
I was just really looking forward to him getting werewolfed. I was sometimes it's hard to tell who's going to get werewolfed. And
this one was easy.
Blatantly obvious.
Now, they didn't kill him. I don't remember if this ever comes. Well, we'll get to that. But anyway, he wants to sleep at his treehouse because he doesn't like the boyfriend. Mom says no, but what does he do?
I just want to do a special call to attention to the My Monster that he had. That's what it's called.
Yes, My Monster. I love
My Pet Monster?
My Pet Monster. Sorry, My Pet Monster.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that.
Insert commercial here.
My Pet Monster.
He's bigger than big.
When he fights battles, he always wins.
And he's your friend, too.
He breaks his chains.
Put him on you and break away, too.
With My Pet Monster, you're busting loose.
He's big.
And scary.
And helps people, too.
And he's your friend, too.
My Pet Monster plays all day.
Tough.
Awesome.
Looking great.
And all your friends will want him for their friends, too.
My Pet Monster has breakaway chains.
That made me happy as hell to see that.
I loved that thing.
But yeah, like Joe Rogan's chasing him. He gets him with the silver bullet.
Yeah, shoots him right.
Doesn't.
But the kid doesn't like. There is that scene where the kid's, he hears something. He hears a ruckus. he goes to check it out.
Great
That
scene.
scene where the werewolf comes up behind him,
Yeah.
where he's standing there, and I mean that's a fantastic scene. But then,
In a lot of ways, this is the ET
I
episode.
was just gonna say, yeah.
yes,
Like
100%.
when like ET like shows himself to Elliot and and also, you know, obviously the monster. You could make a bazillion Monster Squad comparisons with this one, with the treehouse and all the posters and everything. His Cue the Winged Serpent poster in his room was. I was like, I want that.
I didn't even think I
Sick.
saw that.
Yeah, like I was like,
Fantastic.
this is a boy of my own heart.
Really.
This little kid.
He's a cool kid. He likes monsters. He loves his As Seen by My Pet Monster, and him being obsessed with werewolves.
Oh,
So-
yeah, it's like, is this Adam? Is this
Is this little Adam? No,
is this
it's little
biographical?
Davey.
There's that part when the boyfriend, or it's right in the beginning, and she's like, you gotta go to bed.
Is Bobby coming over again?
Yeah, he is.
Can I sleep in my treehouse tonight, Mom?
You know I don't want you out there all night.
Can I sleep in the treehouse?
I think he
really
said
don't.
he hit me. Like
I
that's-
really
No,
don't
he
want
did,
to. I really
a
don't
lot
want
of
to
triggers
hear
going on there.
Bobby raw dogging you through the wall again tonight. Can I just go sleep in the?
slapping
That's
me around.
verbatim as to what the kid said. Oh, you are right. There is that quote in there too where he says he hits me,
He
and
hits me.
the mom says, "Well, he drank last night." So
Yeah.
Scares me, Mom. I don't like him hitting you.
He was a little bit too drunk that night, but he feels real bad about that.
He
Yeah,
drank too
I mean, you gotta
much.
cut him some slack.
So then we switch to Bobby. It's like 8:00 in the morning. He's already getting a beer.
Are you gonna have a beer this early?
What, did I just wake up and I'm back to living with my mom or something? I didn't sleep well last night. A beer recharges me.
There's a naked man in his treehouse who tells him it's our secret and you can't tell anybody, and that sort of freaked me out a little bit. But I guess once you're no longer a werewolf, you're naked and you're in
Yeah,
his
it wasn't by
treehouse
choice. He didn't just show up.
naked.
And actually, what's the kid's name in this?
Davey.
Davey. He brought him to the treehouse.
I found this monster up in the hills. He was hurt and I brought him up here in my treehouse.
Does anyone know I'm here?
I told my mom. She thinks I'm telling a story. I do that sometimes. You're a real monster.
You're gonna have to keep that our secret, Davey.
Now,
Yes, that's the part that confused
logistically,
me.
yeah, because that werewolf must weigh a ton.
Well,
And he took him when he was still in werewolf form.
yeah.
Was there
and I have
like a
feeling-
pulley system? Like
I
what?
think he got the werewolf to follow him. But then he
was-
did
that
have
werewolf
an elevator
collapsed.
system.
I don't
You
know.
saw the elevator, right?
Kids in the '80s always had those Rube Goldberg contraptions, like Pee Wee's,
Yeah.
like Pee Wee and
An
Ernest. Like
elevator.
he knocked over a little
Yeah.
hammer, and all of a sudden this whole.
I wanted to
device-
see like a Pee Wee's Playhouse like set up where it like a big claw comes and like picks up the werewolf and
That's my
takes him
dream.
back to the.
It's our secret. You can't tell anyone else.
And
So
he's got posters all over the wall. Like one of the posters in the clubhouse is the werewolf versus vampire woman, which is an awful Paul Naschy film. Do you guys have any opinions about Paul Naschy films?
I don't know who that is. Actually,
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a Spanish guy that made like 12 werewolf movies, and they're all awful.
terrible. And Ryan
Um,
loves werewolf movies, so I'm sure he's all over that.
He made a movie called The Werewolf versus the Yeti. That sounds
Oh, I would
amazing,
watch that.
and it's terrible. It's
That's a
like
shame.
awful.
Boyfriend Bobby, douchebag. He's all pissed that there's no bacon left because you gave it to your kid.
Is this all I get? One crippled piece of bacon?
Sorry, that's all there is. I'll pick more up tonight when I get paid.
What does that kid do for you? Like, I take care of you.
He's like a kid. That kid doesn't even do anything.
That kid, he's like,
I
dumb.
satisfy your needs.
He just
not
cries.
that kid.
He's a kid. So she tells him, like, maybe this is working out. And he's like, are you telling me I'm not welcome here anymore? And
Maybe not, Bobby. I can't go on like this. I can't.
Well, what are you saying? Huh? What are you talking here?
What I'm saying is, maybe better for a while if you didn't come over at night.
Whoa. You telling me I'm not welcome here anymore?
he starts basically, blaming the 7-year-old for getting in the way of his woman or something. And
as you do.
As one does. And actually, Alamo Joe shows up just in time to stop Mama from getting her ass kicked.
Saved by Alamo Joe, yeah.
Yeah, saved
I keep waiting for Alamo Joe to do something somewhat heroic. Like, I thought he was going to, maybe give that guy a stern warning. Like,
no,
you better not talk. But
doesn't
Alamo Joe does not give a fuck.
No, at all. It's not his business. He's on a mission. And so Joe just basically says, like, hey, there's this guy and he's dangerous and he's wounded. And, no, we haven't seen him and she hasn't seen anything. And, there are so many red flags about this douchebag boyfriend. Like, it's just, there's literally fireworks going off.
I was just thinking, like,
bad.
What do you think he was like during the courting phase of their relationship? I don't think
he only backhanded her.
I don't think he was. He only gave her a jab. He didn't give her like the full body shot uppercut combo. Like,
I mean,
I don't think he ever changed much. Like, this is the dude that, like, that bear analogy started from.
You'd rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Man is scary. With a bear. Well, I've heard about bears. They don't always attack you, right? So maybe a bear. Probably a bear.
Yes. You guys like
pretty much.
Yeah.
And there's the difference: the werewolf or the dude.
Would you rather
choose the werewolf?
Would you rather the werewolf?
I do love that Bobby goes and takes the money that the mom's been saving, probably to get away from the boyfriend, and goes to a local doctor and like buys a bunch of supplies to fix up his monster werewolf and remove
let's
the
just
silver
say,
bullet.
Davey is a real one. No, he can lug this werewolf a mile up a hill to his treehouse. He can perform minor surgery
while turning around 3 times, because that's what the doctor told him he needed to do.
That was cute as hell.
Is there any special way to remove a silver bullet?
A silver? One of your vampires get shot, did he?
You shoot werewolves with silver bullets, Dr. Miller.
Right. Well, now, you got to remember, it's been a long time since I'd had a case like that. But I do recall you have to twirl around 3 times before you take it out.
Twirl around 3 times. Okay, thanks, Dr. Miller.
This isn't going to be easy. You sure you're up to it?
I'm ready.
What are you doing?
The doctor said I had to do this to remove a silver bullet.
It's cute as hell, and poor Eric trying not to laugh as he's
like, "What are you doing?" And that was just so awesome because it was just like, he's a kid.
Sweet. Yeah.
Kids are dumb and believe anything
Doctor
you
says I
tell
have
them.
to spin 3 times to get the silver bullet out.
Yeah,
and that was cute. Alamo Joe shows up at the doctor's, which I guess just to see if there have been any gunshot wounds. And he says, well, only, Daveys Werewolf. Everybody's got a werewolf, but
right.
I think Joe doesn't believe that Daveys Werewolf is fake, which I guess is for the best. Bobby comes home drunk as usual, starts slapping everyone around as one does. And
this episode is just Radio Flyer with a werewolf.
As a human first.
Or This Boy's Life with Leonardo DiCaprio. Have you ever seen that?
I have.
Time hotshot prep school fucker, is it empty? Is it empty? Huh?
No.
Good. All right. Was it empty? Huh? Was it empty?
Yes!
And Robert De Niro.
Don't bring him up in this video. We'll never
Equal
get it
amounts of raw dogging.
Yeah, there really is.
Eric changes.
Can't wait to put that clip in.
Look! You can get a doggy style, you can get laying on your side. Those are your only choices. This is my house and I get to say.
I know,
actually get
I know
two
exactly
werewolves.
which one you're talking about. Another conveniently timed transformation.
Yeah, again, it's always a full moon no matter where he is, and just happens to.
And it's always a plot. It's always a loophole because, and it is, but you just have to accept it. Well, you don't have to
Why
if you
you
don't
just
want.
smile and nod?
You want to be
It's
in
an
the stick,
80s
a stick in the
cheesy
mud. You don't have to.
werewolf
But,
show. It's totally.
unlike the Hulk, like when he gets angry, he turns into
well,
the
that
Hulk.
makes
like this
sense
one,
because he gets angry a lot.
you're just like, oh, this happened right during the cycle of the
Yeah.
moon or whatever.
Alamo Joe shows up day late and dollar short as usual after
Yeah, that's this guy's
Bobby's-
MO.
yeah, pretty much. And asks her about the guy and she's like, that was no man, that was a monster. And then Davey's like, yeah, man.
It was just
Definitely.
I loved, and like I don't know if it was just my mood or whatever, like, or maybe it was because like I was this kid, like this sitting in his room with his horror magazines.
I like that he brought him
wishing upon looking at the full moon and wishing that werewolves were real.
Mhm.
As dumb as that sounds.
Oh, there we
And
go.
when Eric turns into a werewolf and is basically saving him and his mom's life, there's just a look of like adoration on the kid as he's looking at the werewolf and looking at this happen.
He's obsessed.
And I'm just like, but it's like something that he always believed in, and like here it is, it's real, and you were right this whole time.
You were
and
totally right.
not only you were right, but he's saving you from like your horrible
abusive
existence.
douchebag.
Yeah, it's just.
How
it was
many
just
red
awesome.
flags does a Bobby make? I mean, that's a lot of.
whole
There's
store.
That's like.
Red Flag Factory.
And
I did like when he threw him across
Yeah,
the room
yeah.
when Eric checked him across the room. That's pretty good.
I almost expected Joe there to show up during the finale and
So
see
did I.
that Bobby was getting the shit kicked out of him. And I almost expected Joe to be kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to let this happen.
Yeah.
Or I have to kill you now because you're gonna be a werewolf.
For sure. But a Scorzini-less episode, which is sad, but douchebag Davey filled the villain role perfectly for this one. This one really, this episode charmed me even more so than the previous ones. It's very much
a silver bullet.
Yeah, it's an E.T. Elliot
Mhm.
finding his monster and the monster like liberating him from this abusive boyfriend situation. They didn't skimp on the details with the posters in the boys' room. They could have went so cliched with some of them, but they didn't. They pulled out like Cue the Winged Serpent and shit like that. Like those are some deep cuts that only like true monster fans know, So I really appreciated that. I thought it was a really good, heartwarming story of a werewolf slaughtering a abusive boyfriend. Uncharacteristically, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. Little boys that twirl around three times because they're kind of stupid.
Because they're not very bright. Yeah. Okay. Also, this just happens to be, at least from what I remember, this is my favorite episode probably in the series.
Same.
And again, I think it is the same thing. It's just the charm of a little 12-year-old boy and his love of monsters. And, we were all that kid at some point. I will say in some of the episodes, maybe in the later ones, you kind of want to slap it. Like, it's too much, Eric. This was the perfect amount. Because it was the boy and his mom and their story and the monster that saved their life. And I just, it as Adam said, it charmed me and I really enjoyed it. So I will give this Also, 5 out of 5. Naked men that talk you into twisting their guts with a knife.
You're gonna have to keep that our secret, Davey. Okay? You can't tell anyone else.
I'm not giving this 5 out of 5.
I didn't think you would, to be honest with you.
Man, I thought for sure you would like this one. This one,
I did. I really like this. This is probably, I can't remember what I gave episode 2, but this is probably my favorite one so far. I'm having a lot of trouble pinning down what the tone of this show is supposed to be.
Yeah, you have that.
Every episode has been drastically different.
Yeah,
this one kind of feels like if the Incredible Hulk and the Littlest Hobo had a baby.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again.
I don't know if you guys know what that is.
I know the name.
I'm gonna have to look it up now.
It's a Canadian. The Littlest Hobo was a Canadian version of Lassie. Every week the Littlest Hobo would show up and solve someone's problem.
I love him.
Theme song slaps, by the way. Fucking amazing. The last episode was good. This one was good. I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5 cereal boxes that you hide your getaway stash in.
Nice.
Actually, that's a pretty high rating for Ryan. Let's be honest.
This is my favorite episode so far.
Yeah, I could totally understand that. So, all right, well, great. Everyone seems to like these episodes, so if you keep watching them, we'll keep making them. And if you don't, then we won't.
And I'll never see how it ends.
Yeah.
Oh
no. Yeah, don't do that to poor Ryan. All right, that's it from the Hormonal Werewolves. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.